Greetings, YouTube friends and family, fellow aliens. Thank you for being here for this video, which is number 3 in a 5-part video series of thoughts about being a mature INFJ, which I believe I am, and speaking to you, the younger, inexperienced, or perhaps newly found INFJs out there who are just trying to figure shit out. In the first video, I wanted to make sure you understood that you can be you. You can be an individual and that there is a difference between your personality and your cognitive functions and your cognitive processing and all those different things. I'm sorry if the light is kind of weird. It's cloudy. It's going back and forth. And this is what I got. In the second video, I talked a little bit more about the stereotypes, including some run-ins that I've had with some stupid ass type police on there that think that they can just tell me that I'm not what I am, which means that they're a bunch of bottom-feeding douchebags. In this video, number 3, we're going to talk about being an INFJ and social situations. Oh yeah, we're going to go there. Now listen, I am 46 years old. I'm about to be 47. I know I don't look it. I look young. My girl helps me moisturize sometimes when I remember to do it. Maybe that's why. Regardless, I have been through some things. I've had a pretty crazy life. I've lived all over the United States. I have moved and removed. I have been in different types of relationships with all kinds of different types of people. I have had jobs. I have been jobless. I have had homes and I have been homeless. There's a lot to go on. There's a lot to wrap your head around in terms of your personal history as you get a little bit older, because there are more things in the rearview mirror than there were before. So your perspective is very different as you start to age, particularly as an INFJ, because you're still using all of your cognitive functions. They are becoming more balanced as you get a little bit older, because you start to see different things. You start to understand the world in a very different way. It becomes less idealistic in a lot of ways, and it becomes more objective. That's my path. I can't speak to everybody. Also, could very well have something to do with the fact that I really like Ayn Rand. I read all of her stuff, and I really do enjoy objectivist theory. But in this one, I wanted to make sure that I said those words. You can be an INFJ, and you can enjoy social situations. As a matter of fact, I'll go so far as to say that you have to force yourself into social situations. You need other people as an INFJ. Think about your functions, right? You've got introverted intuition, and that is that hoovering up of information, and it's all that external stimuli, and it's involved with other people and events and everything else. People are a big part of that. Now you've got your FE, your extroverted feeling, which is the emotions and the harmony of the group, right? Other people, and you tend to make decisions when you have high FE on the feelings of other people and really taking that into consideration. It may not be the reason you decide a certain thing, but it is certainly something that you are taking in, internalizing, and feeling. You can feel what other people may experience as an aftermath of a direction that you go in or something that you decide. And that feeling can hit pretty hard sometimes. But FE is also that thing that allows you to escape your own head when it's being an ass up there. When you're in that NITI loop and you're overthinking and all of those different things, for me, one of the best things I can do is reach out to somebody that maybe I know has had a hard time, maybe somebody I haven't talked to in a little while, and just check in and say, hey, listen, how are you doing? Let's talk about how you're doing. Because taking that person, seeing their circumstances, and being able to feel some of their emotions, that's one of the healthiest things for an INFJ. It's like INFJ vitamins, right? Because you're pulling yourself out of your own head and you're starting to see something from another person's perspective and how they deal with it. And normally as INFJs, because of our intuition, because of that extroverted feeling, and because of our own introverted thinking and the way we're able to think through situations, because we can use logic, and we do, it really helps us. We feel like we help other people by getting to know them, having a nice one-on-one conversation about something that they're going through, and perhaps offering a little bit of advice. When I was running a karate school, my office door was generally a revolving door, and it had very little to do with martial arts. Most of it had to do with people coming in, sitting down across from me and just being like, hey, can we talk? And talking about something they're going through, whether it was a job, whether it was sometimes their training or what they're struggling with. Relationship with their children, because a lot of times I taught families and everybody listens to the authority figure, which was me, you know, sensei out there. But kids don't tend to listen to their own parents. I've experienced this. It's just a thing. But we are critical in a society of people that are increasingly finding themselves in anxious situations with anxiety raising, in stressful situations with the way the world is right now, and that we are necessary components of the social fabric of humanity as an INFJ. Are we rare? Sure. Are we the rarest? Don't get me started on that crap. I'm so tired of that argument. But we are of critical value to those around us, whether we want to believe it and want to see it or not. That's our own bullshit that we need to get past and understand that we are worthwhile and we are worth a lot. I'm going to attack that point in a later video. So it is really important for you to get out there and experience some social situations, to have a thing that you do that involves other people, a different kind of community for a hobby. Do you like to play Warhammer with little figurines on a table? I'm with you, by the way. Then get with people that do that thing. For me, I love to play tennis. I'm like huge into tennis. I'm not great at it, but I can hit a ball pretty well. I love to get on the court. It makes me happy to meet some other people that really enjoy it and to play a little bit against them and to not be super competitive about it and to just enjoy the time and try to get better on myself and things like that. That is my social time. And I might not be great friends with anybody that I'm playing with, but I still get to have some conversations and experience people and get to know some people. And those can turn into fruitful relationships and everything else further down the line. But you have to be open to that kind of thing. An isolated INFJ, man, that's just hard. Because when you're an isolated INFJ, you don't have that outlet. You don't really understand and feel how other people look at you like you're some kind of a sage. I've been called a sage. I've been called a guru for some people. And I'm like, I'm not that. Like, believe me, I've got a mountain of bullshit that's all my own that is very much not like a guru that I got to deal with. But it doesn't mean that I can't have a fresh perspective for somebody and really help them out in their life. So these things are critical for you as an INFJ. So if there's any advice I can give you in this as a mature INFJ talking to somebody who has not had the kind of life experience that I've had, it's this. Get yourself into those situations. Be open about it. Be okay without it. It's not stressful to just talk to somebody in a conversation that you've only just met. It is perfectly normal. And if you stumble over your words and somebody says, you know, enjoy your food, and you say you too, because that's just weird, you know, or what have you, those kinds of things are fine. It's part of your character. We all do it. And if anything, that's the kind of thing that I think other people can really relate to, right? Is tripping over your words in some way and not really getting it out quite right. But you're you, and you're worth a lot exactly how you are. And so it's important to show yourself to the world and to let them see that special nature that you have. I hope this helped. In the next video, I'm checking my notes. In the next video, as if on cue, we're talking about knowing your worth as an INFJ. And boy, do I have some things to say about that topic. So I'm glad that you've watched these so far. This is number 3 in the 5-part series. If you haven't watched the first 2, please go back and do that. If you'd like to support this channel, please, pretty please, consider buying my book, The Caretaker. Here's an INFJ main character. I very much poured my heart and soul into this novel to create a character that was a hero, a protagonist of sorts that an INFJ can identify with. It's a great book. It's got great reviews. It's on Amazon. Link is in the description. I'll put up a little thing. And please check out the other channels and everything else I've got cooking down there. You can see more of me on a couple of other channels, on Jacqueline's channel and on our channel, David and Jax, where we're just silly together doing all sorts of fun stuff. So please, pretty please support me if you can. And I'm just very grateful that you're here and part of this conversation. Say hello in the comments. I read everything. I try to respond to as much as I can. I love you and I appreciate you, my good people out there. Please stay strong, stay safe, and I will see you on the next video.